So, I'm not exactly sure where to start with this, so I'm just going to start from the beginning. I'm going to start from the very beginning of my path to where I am now, which is such a really nice reflection for me to think about and just recognize how far I've come compared to where I used to be and the way that I used to feel about myself. Man, I'm just like, if I knew where I was right now, back then, I would be so stoked. And I am stoked. I love my life. I love where I'm at right now. And the reason I say that is because my journey started from a very dark place, personally, within. I basically graduated high school, went straight to the University of Arizona, and partied every single night of the week. I pretty much paid to go there and drink every night with my friends and just get wasted. And there was no seriousness about studying or what I was going to get my degree in. I didn't even really fully grasp the concept of paying for college and paying to go there. It was just a party time for me. And I came home after that and I went in and out of community colleges. I thought that it was the first time of being hit with the reality of life for me and seeing that you're truly given what you put out, in the sense that when I was in high school, I was a naturally smart person. I didn't really need to study for school. And I kind of just got by off of natural talent. And when I got to college, this was an eye opener to actually, one, take care of myself, but also not being able to just show up to class on the day of the test and pass. Like, I was getting D's, I was getting F's. And this was so foreign to me. And so I came home from that experience feeling really defeated and low. And I struggled to find my path. I struggled to find purpose and what I wanted to do. I worked a bunch of random jobs in restaurants and I did community college part time. But I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just wandering. And then I I still don't really know the full reason why I did this. It was kind of random, but I decided to go to massage therapy school in 2013 and I got my license in massage therapy. And this was a really interesting time of my life because part of me just felt, well, to be honest, part of me was just looking for a way to start making money and working. And going to massage therapy school was a quick program where I could start making some decent money right away. And I went into the massage therapy program. And this was my first introduction to the field of health and wellness. Like, this really was my foot in the door of becoming who I am today, because it was my first exposure to different types of more natural ways of healing. It was my first exposure to traditional Chinese medicine, and and one of the oldest healing arts being body work, hands-on body work. And I am a very strong believer in the power of touch and the power of human to human connection. There's a lot of power and healing potential within that. And that was really my first time seeing that and experiencing that and learning about that. But with that came a lot of new challenges for me. It came a challenge of creating a new identity for myself and stepping into an authority type of role that was new to me. And it was something that I had to grow into. It was something that I had to become comfortable with over time, because I had never really had a leadership, an authoritative position before in my life. And so a massage therapist, being a facilitator of health and a facilitator of body work, like, there is a role that it's a healer role. That's really what it was. It was my first time stepping into the role of a healer, which is what I see myself as now. And I'll just say this too real quick, because I am a believer in God and Jesus, and I see God as the ultimate healer. And I view myself as a channel for God to heal other people. And that is a recent thing that I've connected with, but that I know to be true. I know that I am not actually healing anybody. I'm simply guiding them on their own path. I'm guiding them to their own healing, because anytime we're healing, it's coming from within. People cannot heal for us. They cannot do the healing for us. It is always ourselves doing our own healing. And so, back to my origin, being in the massage therapy school and stepping into that was my first experience stepping into the role of a healer. And that really was the beginning of my journey in the field of health and wellness. And so I worked on and off in different spas. I also just continued to go through life and really learning about myself and just becoming an adult, and not even becoming an adult. Like, I still sometimes don't feel like I'm an adult. Becoming mature and becoming aware of life. You know, I'm in like my early 20s, middle 20s. When I was younger, I thought by the time I was 30, I would have everything figured out and I would have this perfect home and family and white picket fence. And my ideas of what a 30-year-old looked like and what adulthood looks like, that was so warped from what is actually real. Because I was going through my 20s, my middle 20s, and honestly, that was a really low point in my life in terms of my own mental state. My self-confidence and my, how do I put this? My desire for life. I wasn't depressed, but I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself, and I didn't feel good about who I was for some reason. And I battled through that a lot in my early and middle 20s. And then, you know, I finally started coming out of it. I eventually decided I wanted to go and get my bachelor's in exercise science. And so I, again, on and off with community college, I go to ASU's website and I see, oh, they have an exercise degree program. Let me join in with that. So I get on, I go and get my degree in exercise science, and I just really, really enjoy it. I really love it. And I find out about physical therapy as an option. And I go and get a job at a physical therapy clinic. And I love it. I didn't even know this was like a possibility for a career. You know, a lot of people, when they get into physical therapy, it's because they had an injury from sports and they like went through physical therapy themselves. So that's a really common way that people become a physical therapist. But for me personally, I didn't have that. I found out about it when I was in college. And then I just went and immersed myself in it, and I loved it. And so once I got into ASU, this was when I was finally like locking in as a person, as an adult, just realizing that I have control of my life, not living so much in the regret and the past of my past mistakes and choices and things that I wish I would have done and all that stuff. Like I was out of that. I was focusing on like what I wanted to do moving forward. And got to ASU, started grinding, did really well with all my grades there. Graduated, got my bachelor's, got into PT school by the grace of God, did my 3 years there, and man, when I finally became a physical therapist and when I passed the board exam, the exam to become a PT is 250 questions, and it is a monster. But the relief that I felt and the joy that I felt when I mean, a couple of different points. Like when I graduated, when we had our white coat ceremony, and then like, being done with PT school was great. But like when I actually passed the exam, that was when I was like, holy shit, this is real. I'm actually a PT now. I'm a doctor of physical therapy now. And that, it's interesting. That at that point was when I finally could say I was proud of myself. And I wish that wasn't the case. I wish I could just say that I was always proud of myself, but I wasn't. And reflecting on this more, like, you don't need certain achievements to be proud of yourself. Like, you can still be proud of the person you are and whatever you've done with your life. And you can feel good about yourself without having this goal or achievement that you're trying to reach. And I realized that I was chasing something, and that doesn't mean I'm not proud of it or that I regret doing it. Like I love what I do now. I love the knowledge that I've gained and the opportunities I've gotten to help people through physical therapy and through exercise. And I do truly feel now that I am in my calling and that I am doing what I was meant to do, because I love learning about the body. I love exercise and the way that it makes me feel. I love helping people. I love talking to people about all of this stuff. Like, I know that I'm in the right place now. And that right there is just really awesome, because I have so much satisfaction with my career and my profession. And not a lot of people can say that. Like, not a lot of people can get up every day and say they love their job and love what they do. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still working for an employer right now as I'm building my own business, and work is still work sometimes. Like, work sucks. I don't always feel like working. But when it comes to actually building my own business and doing my own thing, I actually love doing that. And that is something that I could do every day. And overall, like, I love being able to teach people about the power of exercise and just make it simple to understand. I really enjoy taking the complexity of movement and exercise and boiling it down to as simple as possible. Because I feel like now there's so much information in the world, and there's so much just distractions, and it can be really tough to discern what is useful and what's not, just because there's so much information out there. And so I really enjoy being able to break down complex things into very simple ways. I like to remove the barriers that people experience when it comes to exercise and physical activity, the mental barriers, because a lot of our limitations are self imposed. A lot of our thoughts and beliefs we have about ourselves are holding us back from becoming the best version possible. And I One of the best things that has happened to me over my life so far is I found the path of self-development and self-improvement of my mind. And if you don't know about the subconscious mind and the power of your thoughts and beliefs and your identity and just how impactful that is in your life, that is one of the, if I could get people to understand anything, it would be understand the power of your thoughts, understand the power of your mind, because everything starts in the mind. Everything we do starts with a thought, and we are the ones in control of our thoughts. But a lot of times people have it twisted and they think their thoughts control them, when in reality we are a living soul blessed with a mind and a body, and we control both of those things. We control our minds, and our minds control our bodies. But above all that, above that voice in our head, we are actually the awareness of that voice. We are not the voices in our head. We're not the voice that we hear in our thoughts. We're the person observing those thoughts. We're not even the person observing them. We are the spirit observing the thoughts in our brain. The mind, the body, and the spirit are all connected. I know this for a fact. And that is something that shapes who I am. That is something that I carry into everything that I work with and every person I work with. And yeah, I feel very blessed to do what I get to do and to help people. And I feel very blessed with gifts of knowledge and being able to communicate with people. And I am just going to continue to become the best version of myself, so I can go out and help as many different people as possible. And I want to help people by sharing information and by connecting with them and by listening to them and hearing what their situation is, and hopefully guiding them to a better pathway to get out of whatever. If it's a situation they're trying to change, like, I want to help do that. I want to help people achieve their healthiest self. I want to help people feel better than they've ever felt before. The more people that can realize their full potential, the better this world is going to be. This world is filled with so much bad shit right now, and we need more healthy people. We need more healthy people. That's really what we need, because healthy people are strong and they're bold and they stand up for what's right. And we need more of that right now. We need more healthy people. And I want to just help people find that, especially people that are lost and confused and don't know where to start with exercise, with fitness, with their health, with all these things. Like, I want to guide people to the right path so they can begin to walk the path on their own. Because like I said, I'm not actually healing people. All of the healing is taking place within you. I am just guiding you on the path of healing. I want people to be able to feel confident in walking the path on their own. And so really that is my mission, is to show people the path of healing, to demystify it, to simplify to clear it up so it's not confusing, because it's really not. It's really simple. You control your thoughts, you manage your stress levels, you exercise consistently, and you just be consistent week by week by week by week for the rest of your life. It's just a pretty simple process. It just takes a lot of effort. And so I want to make it as smooth as possible for people. That is my mission right there.